In this video, I will show you where to find the free fixed range volume profile in Tradingview, and I will also show you how to properly set it up. At the end of this video, I will give you some tips and tricks on how to easily identify support and resistance zone using the fixed range volume profile tool, and also how to look for trades and where to set targets. So be sure to watch the entire video. Let's go get the fixed range volume profile. Scroll down to this video description and you should see this link for Tradingview. Click on this link and it will take you to the Tradingview website. This tool is free and you do not need to sign up for a paid subscription. You could just sign up for the free basic plan and then upgrade to a paid plan later if you wish. Otherwise, you could just remain on this free basic plan to use this tool. If you are a new user on Tradingview, let's make sure that you are on a charting window. So in order to do that, just click on this product and then select the Chart Plus. Now, also before we go generate a chart, let's first open up a new charting layout so it won't interfere with whatever you might have on your chart. So we're going to come here and open up and select New Layout. Now let's generate a chart for the SPY by entering the ticker symbol here. And to make sure there are no indicators and drawings on the chart, click the delete icon here, then select delete the drawing and indicators. Now we are ready to set up the fixed range volume profile. To select the fixed range volume profile, select this icon and then on the list look for this icon and then select it. This will allow you to draw the fixed range volume profile in the chart. And to draw it, we will first need to move our mouse pointer to the time period where we want the chart to start to generate the profile, and then click the left mouse button. Then move the mouse pointer to the end where we want the profile to end, and then click the mouse button again. After that, you should see something like this. Now don't worry, the profile doesn't look the way that we would like to have it. I will show you how to make it look the way that we want it. And to set up the fixed volume profile, first select the fixed range volume profile drawing on the chart by placing the mouse pointer on it and then click the mouse button to select. And you should see this small floating panel. Then click this gear icon to select the setup. Now, if you do not see this floating panel, you can also do it this way by placing the mouse on the fixed volume profile and then press the right mouse click. Then this menu will come up. And the first thing that we want to do is to select the Input tab. And now for the Input tab, we want to set it to this setting here. Now you could just pause the video to make sure that your panel is set to whatever you are seeing on the screen. After you have finished setting up this panel to what I have on my panel, now let's go to the tab labeled Style. First, make sure this volume profile checkbox is checked and the width is set at 15% and the placement is set to the left. Now we're going to go and set the color and the opacity for the up volume by clicking the color box and choose the color indicator on the color panel and enter 75% for opacity. Now do the same for the value area up. The remaining color we do not need to set since our profile doesn't use these features right now. Next, we're going to scroll down this panel until we see the POC and make sure the checkbox next to it is checked. Then click the color box associated with it and then set the color and the opacity to what I have set. Finally, to the bottom of the panel, click the color box associated with histogram box and set the opacity to 0. Now click OK. Your fixed volume profile should look something like the one that I'm showing. If not, go back to the fixed volume profile setting panel and then rewind the video to compare each setting to mine and see where are the similarity. After you have it to look like mine or to whatever you like it to look, then select the volume profile, the fixed range volume profile, and click the gear icon once again. Scroll to the bottom of the setup panel and click the template. Select Save As and then enter my FRVP or whatever name that you would like to have, and then click OK. And now you have created a fixed range volume profile with these settings and under this particular name for your template. And when you want the fixed volume profile to look like whatever you have set, just select the fixed range volume profile and then click the template and then select this template you have named and save. Now that you have set up the fixed range volume profile on TradingView, let me show you a couple of tips and tricks on how to easily identify those low volume zones for potential resistance and support. Now the first tip is on removing the candlestick from the chart, so only the fixed volume profile is shown. And this will allow us to easily see all the low volume zone without being covered by some of the candlestick. One way to do this is open the object page from the right menu bar on the chart and turn off the candlestick chart. The other way, which I believe is more convenient, is to turn it on and off using the line chart. So let me show you how to set the line chart to be transparent. We switch to the line chart by clicking here to make the selection. Now we have a line chart of the daily closing price for SPY. Come here and click this gear icon to select the chart setting. Click the symbol to set the color for our line chart. Now click the color box next to the line and enter 0% for opacity and click OK. The line is now transparent and you can see the entire fixed range volume profile without any obstructions. You can see these low volume zone now. If there is a candle here, it would have blocked it and you wouldn't be able to identify that low volume zone. And if you like, you can also go to the appearance and turn off the watermark for the symbol. Now the next tip, this is to set up the rectangle drawing tool to draw the low volume zone and the high volume area. Select the rectangle tool by clicking here and then click on this square icon. Move the mouse pointer anywhere on the chart and click the left mouse button and then move the mouse some distance to the right and click the left mouse button. We'll go adjust the setting for drawing a low volume zone next. Select the rectangle we just drew, then click on the gear icon on this floating panel. Select the Style tab and select the color box for the border and enter 0% for opacity. Now check the checkbox next to the background, then select the color box for the background color and select blue color as shown on the color panel, then enter 30% for opacity, and finally check the checkbox for extend right. Now we want to save these settings in a template. To do this, select template, then save as, and enter LVZ or whatever name that you want to name this template, and click save, then click OK. Now we're going to use the LVC drawing to create the high volume zone drawing tool. So select the LVC we just drew, or the rectangle that we just drew, click the setting icon, select the Style tab, then click the background color box and select the red color. Now click the template and select Save As and enter HVC or whatever name that you want to use for this template, and then click Save and click OK. And now we are ready to use the fixed range volume profile to help us easily identify some potential support and resistance zone. Let's reset a chart to a candlestick chart. Click here and select candles. And now let's get rid of the fixed volume profile, all the drawings we have made, and click this trash can icon and select this. Okay, nice clean chart. Now I'm going to show you how to identify and draw those zones. First, I'm going to determine what time period I want to generate this fixed range volume profile. To do this, I'm going to look where the recent swing is that I would be interested in looking at. Then I will use that time span to generate the fixed range volume profile. And here's the swing that I'm going to use because I want to know where were the prices that the market participant did not show much interest in. Those are the potential resistance and support area. Now, this might sound counterintuitive to you. You might ask, how can a price zone show very low interest become support or resistance zone? I will explain later after we finish drawing these zones. Now let's turn off the candlestick by selecting the line chart. Now we just have the fixed range volume profile on the chart, And we could see there are quite a few prominent low volume area, and we will use our rectangle tool to mark them. I'm going to select the rectangle tool and then click here to select the low volume zone template, the LVC. And now I'm going to draw it between these prices. I will do it for the other low volume zone as well. Now that I have finished drawing these low volume zone, I'm going to turn the candlestick back on by selecting the candlestick chart type. Let's see how well we have identified those low volume zone while the candlestick will turn off. Not too bad, huh? If you like, you can make minor adjustments, but it shouldn't be necessary except maybe adding in some very small low volume zone we have ignored or missed in our first pass. Now let's take a look at how we can use these zones to help us look for trades and set trade targets. The price is currently in between these two zones, and the price action appears to be biased on the downside. Looks like it is in the process of a pullback. So what we want to do is wait for the price to come down to this low volume zone, then look for a long setup. Now let me take the opportunity to explain why a price zone with little interest can be a support zone. The low volume means not many traders have interest in taking trade at those prices. When the price was at that area last time, sellers considered the price to be too low for them to sell. So any buyer shows up have to offer higher prices to find willing seller, and that caused the price to move away from this area with very few trades transacted at this price zone. Price move up not because there are more buyers, it is because there are unwilling sellers. There is no such thing as more buyer than seller and vice versa because every transaction requires a buyer and a seller. Likewise, for the price to get rejected from a low volume zone, there are anxious sellers waiting to sell, but the buyer considers the price is too high, therefore not many transactions occur at those prices, and the seller have to lower their asking price to find willing buyers. And that's why we look for low volume zone to act as support and resistance zone. Not every low volume zone will act as support or resistance. Many of them, the price will just move through those zones with little trading and continue to move in that direction until it encounters a high volume area. Those are the regions that have a lot of trading, meaning buyers and sellers are willing to trade at those prices because they consider those prices to be fair. And that's the reason why the price fluctuates around the levels and create a high volume zone. And after either the seller or the buyer are exhausted, then the price will move away from this high volume area, and it could move back to the low volume zone it came from or to the next low volume zone. So that brings me to the next point, and that is the high volume zone could be one of the trade targets, and the other possible trade target is the next low volume zone. So if you'd like to give the fixed range volume profile a try on helping you easily identify support and resistance zone, then click on the link for Tradingview in the description below and follow the step in this video to set it up. Let me know in the comment section if this tool and the tips that I provided you make it easier for you to identify support and resistance zone or not. If you are new and interested in watching more videos like this from me, then subscribe to this channel. And be sure to smash the thumbs up to help me promote this video on YouTube. Good luck and stay safe.